Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Cancel My News and TV Opinions. It's your boy Petrie Perfect, and it's all the news and reviews and hot takes that you did not think you need. Today we have an awesome episode. I'm so excited to get this out for y'all today. A lot's been going on. So like I said, still trying to figure out how I want to do this channel. But thank you all for supporting. For those who's been seeing the videos, liking the shorts, and all the new subscribers that we've had that came along from doing this. We want to say thank you so much for all of that, and I hope you all continue to enjoy the content. But before we continue, I want to make sure that you all don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts. They mean a lot. I like to talk about movies. I want to talk about movies with each and every one of y'all. So please, making sure leaving comments is so important. Liking the video is free. Subscribing is free and comments is free. So just making sure that y'all get in there, do what we need y'all to do so that way we can be excited about the results, about where we're going with this channel. So with that being said, let's get right into what we got in store for today. The first thing this week I saw in big news is that um one of the most iconic novel to film series is wanting to make a comeback in a TV show form. And that novel that I am speaking about, that series of novels that I'm speaking about, is the Harry Potter franchise. Yes, that's right, folks. If you did not know, Harry Potter is returning to the screens in your home in form of a TV series. Harry Potter has become one of the biggest biggest movie franchises in the entire industry of Hollywood. It was each each movie was dynamic, each movie was epic, and almost each movie was great in its own right. These movies have been a part of our childhood. These movies are generationally amazing. Not everybody. This is Harry Potter's not for everybody. Not everybody gets down with the wizardry and the goons and goblins and all that type of stuff, but it's still one of them things where people are excited about this series coming back. But I have some thoughts on it. But I definitely want to wait till afterwards to kind of talk about those thoughts because it I know how these things like this go, and so I just want to. We're gonna read the article through Yahoo Entertainment. We're gonna read it together, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it. But let's meet. Well, they've been casting this movie for the last about a year or so. They've been casting this movie. I know for one thing, we're gonna have a Black Snape. I know that sounds interesting. You know, we've seen these characters. We've seen a lot of these characters from how they were in the movies, and so seeing a Black Snape is going to be a little weird, but it's going to be fun. You know, hey, it's a fictional character, so what? Who cares if he's black? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want a Black Harry. I don't know if I want Harold. That's just me. I don't know if I want a Harold Potter. I'm cool with Harry. I don't need Harold. But they've been casting for this movie for quite some time. But what the biggest news of this week was that they finally cast the big three. They casted Harry Potter, they casted Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley. So we're gonna switch over to the article, and we're gonna read the article together, and then we're gonna talk it down and break it down here together. Yahoo Entertainment. Harry, Hermione, and Ron actors announced for HBO's Harry Potter TV reboot. Meet them and the rest of the cast so far. So here we go. This is a picture of our new Harry, Hermione, and Ron. They were spot on with the Ron. I like Harry's too. I mean, Hermione's not a blonde, but I'm okay with it. Like I said, these are fictional characters. That doesn't mean anything, but they look very similar to what we've been used to. Harry kind of looks like Harry. You know, I can see him with some glasses on. He's really gonna blend in and be a good Harry Potter. So I'm excited. From right now, like visually, they look great. They look like they're gonna be an amazing big three. But let's keep talking about it. Or let's keep reading. Excuse me. HBO's Harry Potter's TV series has officially found its golden trio. After an extraordinary search led by casting directors Lucy Bevan and Emily Brockman, we are delighted to announce we have found our Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Showrunner Francesca Gardner and executive producer and director Mark Mylod said in a statement on Tuesday, "We would like to thank all the tens of thousands of children who auditioned. It's been a real pleasure to discover the plethora of young talent out there." Now, staying there for just a second. Hold on. We're going to flip it up. Staying there for just a second. Tens of thousands of children that was trying to get these roles is an insane amount of kids. If you really think about the amount of kids that is lining up trying to audition for Harry and Hermione and Ron, and you only had to pick 3 out of tens of thousands, that lets you know how much that these 3 stood out amongst all these other kids. I'm sure some of these kids were just parents trying to get their kids in there and trying to get to doing something and making sure that they just get making sure that they just try to get an opportunity for their kids. So these 3 kids really had to be the cream of the crop in order to stand out in amongst all these other kids. So that's important. But let's get back to the article. Okay, there we go. Donnie McLaughlin will be playing the boy wizard himself, Harry Potter, while Arabella Stanton has been cast as Hermione Granger and Alistair Stout will play Ron Weasley. The show is set to premiere in 2027 and will be based on the original story but with major plot changes. And each season will focus on one of the 7 books in the internationally popular literary series. So that's important. I want to make sure we highlight that so that I didn't know that. Here we go. Here we go. In December, Variety reported that Discovery Global streaming chief JB Parrott and the show is expected to be a 10-year project. That same month, Max announced on Instagram that production on the show would begin this summer at Warner Brothers Studios in Leavesden, England. I'm sorry, Leavesden, England. I don't know if I'm saying that. Where the original film franchise was filmed from 2000 to 2010. So we'll leave it there. If you want to see the cast, this is what we're looking like compared to the original characters. Daniel Radcliffe, of course, is right there. So this is our new Harry. This is Daniel Radcliffe, of course. And then we have Arabella. This is her right here, our new Hermione, and this is the original. I thought she was a blonde. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I thought she was blonde. Ron. See, that's why I said this Ron is almost spot on. They did a really good job with this Ron. I really, really, really like what they did here. This Ron is amazing. And they then got some more of the other cast and stuff like that. So we're not gonna go through all that. That's not why we're here today. But you do, as you can see. Well, let's go look at the Black Snape real quick so everybody can see what I was talking about. Look, there goes Black Snape right there. Papa is Esadu as Severus Snape. So that is the new Snape. So it seems like it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited to see um what they're gonna look like. So and so now you all see we have our new Harry Potter. We have the article explaining these characters. I don't think a lot of these kids had any screen time, but nonetheless, they are going to be in this movie. I mean, in this TV show, and I think they're going to do a good job. I think they're under a lot of pressure though. I think the pressure for this show is going to be immensely high. Harry Potter is one of those things where people really 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 take it serious. You know, your Harry Potter fans are diehard fans. So my fear for these kids is that people are going to be very 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 critical. Myself, I'm going to give it a chance. I want to make sure that I want to see this Harry Potter, in a sense, universe grow. And let's talk about that for a second. What I mean by this universe grow is that this is going to have a chance to grow unlike the movies was able to do. Now if you think about it from this perspective, a movie is 2 hours long, 2 hours and 15-20 minutes long. You have to get the entire story. Now you're talking about an HBO series, and each series is going to be after one of the books. So, you know, of course, season 1 is going to be the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone. I still don't know when they made that change, but season 1 is going to be the Sorcerer's Stone. So, of course, now you're talking about 2 hours of movie now can expand amongst 8 to 10 episodes. I don't know how many episodes they're planning on doing, but it doesn't matter. Now, instead of 2 hours, you have basically 8 hours to tell a more complete story, to be more book accurate. But I think in the same article, what I read before the show, is that they're even going to introduce major plot changes. So that's a cool thing for us hardcore fans, because we won't see the exact same show and we won't see the exact same thing play out as we did in the movies. They were going to introduce their own flavor, their own twist. That's where people's going to get critical. Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson. I'm sorry, I don't know Ron's actual name right now, but these characters, these actors and actresses have gone on to become household names, and everybody knows Daniel Radcliffe because he was Harry. He can't play any other role without someone. I think he was in a horror movie. I don't remember the name of it, but watching that movie, you could not think about Harry Potter, and that's what he did. Emma Watson, the same thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what this series do for these kids. But we have to give it a chance, people. We have to give it a chance. We cannot go in there just thinking it's going to be like the original show, the original movie, and with the original actors. It's going to be different. They're going to add a new twist. They're going to be targeting a younger audience because they know they got us. I mean, for crying out loud, they created a wizard world at Universal Studios just because of how big Harry Potter is. I was able to go there. It is an amazing place to be. It looks like you're in a completely different world. So, having these kids come on board, I do think they're going to be a good job, just to do a good job, excuse me, just for the simple fact that they were able to beat out tens of thousands of other kids in order to secure the role of a lifetime. If they do it right, if they go in and these kids stay focused and do what they're supposed to do, they have a chance to really change the lives of themselves and for their families. And as far as the show itself, I'm excited to see how is it going to be different. I'm excited to see what part of the stories are you going to tell. I didn't read all the books, so a lot of the book nerds out there, I'm sure, are going to really appreciate now the opportunity to get into more details. Come on now, each book is going to be basically a season. So excuse me, I don't know why I keep wanting to start with the Order of the Phoenix. The Harry Potter in the Sorcerer's Stone is season one. Season two is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is one of my favorite movies. I must say, Harry Potter, the third season will be Prisoner of Azkaban, then the Goblet of Fire, and then the Order of the Phoenix, and then the Half Blood Prince, and then the Deathly Hallows, which I'm sure will probably be 2, 3 seasons by itself. And we'll be able to age with these actors, but I'm just hoping that this is a series that's pushing. A lot of time, a lot of TV shows today, they want to get a series out, they want to wait 2 years. That's the problem. Stranger Things is happening. This happening right now. Stranger Things have put out a season years ago. These kids were small. Now these kids are all in college. I saw the other day the young lady who plays one of the guy's sisters. She graduated from high school, and so that's how long it's been since Stranger Things has been going. But hopefully, we'll finally get to the conclusion of that this year. But I'm excited for the Harry Potter. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited for this Harry Potter series? What do you think about the new casting? And what do you think are going to be the major changes that they're going to make in the story compared to the movies and the book? So let me know in the comments what you think, but I'm excited to see it and I hope you are too. Don't forget, as we're taking a break before we move on to our next topic, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and leave comments. That everything helps the channel grow. And let's get the conversation going. This is fun. It's fun to talk about movies. So let's keep going. Let's keep going after this and take the conversation to the comments. So make sure you get in them comments right now, letting me know what you think on the previous topic as we get ready to move to the next topic. Our next topic of today um is a big update on one of the movies. I'm chopping up a little bit. The next topic is a big update on one of the movies that people have been looking forward to. This is one of people's favorite movies. Of course, with the release of Karate Kid out right now, Jackie Chan has been going on press tours and speaking on the Karate Kid and other movies itself. So that's how these press tours work. They work when you're doing a press tour for another movie. They want to ask you questions while they have you, so they can ask you any question that they feel like they need to get the answers out, or whatever the case can be. This is the time to do it when they come to you to promote their other movie. They do this with the Marvel movies a lot as well. They'll Chris Hemsworth was doing a press tour for Extraction, and they was asking him about Thor. So it's just how this works. So Jackie Chan was on a press tour for Karate Kid where they asked him about an update on the highly anticipated sequel, Rush Hour 4. Um, Rush Hour is, of course, a road cop, a road cop movie with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. This is one of the greatest movies of our generation, of our time, and a lot of people have been looking forward to this. It's going to be a long break, just kind of like when Bad Boys came out. And Bad Boys had Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, but then when Bad Boys 3 came out all these years later, it was such a huge, huge, huge turnout, huge reaction, because not only was everybody anticipating it, but it was also a very good movie. So I'm expecting Rush Hour to do something very similar. But let's go look at the article together, and then we'll come back and we can talk about it together. Let's see. Jackie Chan, this is by Screen Rant. Jackie Chan gives hopeful update on a potential Rush Hour 4. Hurry up. Jackie Chan offers a hopeful update on Rush Hour 4. Despite having denied his involvement in the fourth movie in 2019, the actor confirmed that he was in talks to make the movie in 2022. Directed by Brett Ratner and released in 1998, the first Rush Hour movie starred Chan and Chris Tucker as Hong Kong Detective Inspector Lee and LAPD Detective James Carter, respectively. Ratner then directed the next two installments in the series, but hasn't directed a movie since 2014. While talking to Screen Rant's Liam Crowley at the Karate Kids Legends red carpet event, the action star offered an update on Rush Hour 4. Chan shared his enthusiasm for returning to the upcoming project and named a few other movies he would like to do. Confirming that the script is still going on, however, he stressed that he didn't know the specifics, but hopes that development moves forward soon. This is his comments. Jackie Chan says, I don't know. Ask the director. Ask the studio. Ask the writer. Hurry up. Otherwise, Chris Tucker and me will be 100 years old. We'll be old men during rush hours. Screen Rant responds and says, you want to do it though? Jackie Chan says, yes. And I want to do another Shanghai Nights, Shanghai Dawn, Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Night, Shanghai Doom. The script is still going on. I want to do a Rush Hour 4. So that was his comments. Jackie Chan is letting us know that he is wanting to do this movie. Um So far, news has been scarce on the project. Ratner has exited Hollywood since 2018 after several actors came forward with sexual harassment and misconduct allegations. It's unclear who will direct the upcoming movie, but it sounds like both Chan and Tucker are on board to return as the dynamic duo in Rush Hour 4, which is set to explore a new mission. So, it's not a whole lot here. It's just that the excitement that there is going to be a Rush Hour 4. How exciting is that to see Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker on screen again? To see Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan has been in some movies. We've been seeing him, but Chris Tucker has been doing his own thing. I know another big movie for Chris Tucker that they're looking at is the last Friday of the month, whatever they're gonna call the movie. But it's supposed to be the final Friday, which I believe also got the green light as well to start being produced. So if Chris Tucker can do Rush Hour 4 and The Last Friday, that'll be huge for his career. He's already a made man. I know it. It seems like he doesn't really need this stuff, but he's still famous and he still goes out. He's still known as an amazing comedian. He's still known as an amazing actor, and he still has an amazing catalog of movies that we'll always enjoy, especially in our community. So Chris Tucker is not wanting it. So for him, no, Simi said Chris Tucker is not needing this. So for him coming back, I know it's a want, and he wants to give that to the fans, and we can respect that as fans of his. And Jackie Chan is Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is he's so important to all of us. So just to see these guys back on screen, the stories I'm sure is going to be amazing. I think it's going to have the same effect that Bad Boys had. Being off for a while, coming back is going to be a big banger. They're going to do four, and they're probably going to try to squeeze another trilogy out, because I believe Rush Hour 4 is going to do such big numbers that they're going to try to squeeze a trilogy, 4, 5, and 6. I think when Bad Boys came back for the third film, when they named it Bad Boys for Life, I think they thought that that would be the last film, which is why they called it For Life. But I believe it did so well that that's when wanted to make Bad Boys 4, which was probably even better than 3, and they were mad that they called that movie For Life because they could have used it for Bad Boys 4. But that lets me know I don't think they were thinking about doing a Bad Boys 4. It just did big numbers. I think the same thing is going to happen with this Rush Hour 4. So what do y'all think in the comments? Let me know. Do you think Rush Hour 4 is going to do big numbers? Do you think that they should even make another Rush Hour 4? Let me know in the comments. Are you excited to see it? If you're just simply excited to see it, let me know. I'm excited to know what you think about this movie. Rush Hour 4. Moving on to our last thing. Of course, you know me. I am a big Marvel fan. I love Marvel comics. The MCU is so dear to my heart. It's I don't understand what's going on with Marvel. I feel like things are just not going the way that they want it to go. I don't know if this is due to the Jonathan Majors, the flip up, COVID, the writer strike. I don't know what it had. Maybe it's a little bit of all of it. I don't know what's going on, but it just seemed like we're getting heartbreaking news after heartbreaking news after heartbreaking news. And I just don't see how they can recover on a grand scale from what they're doing. Marvel has just announced, I want to say today, yeah, I believe it came out today. Marvel has announced that they will be skipping Comic Con this year. Now, for those who don't know what Comic Con is a comic book convention that happens every July in San Diego. It is the biggest comic book convention in the world. It is an awesome, awesome time where people cosplay, your favorite actors from your favorite comic book movies come. They sign autographs, but what everybody looks forward to is the panels by the movie companies. So you'll have Sony might have a panel. It used to be Fox would have a panel. Marvel would have a panel, and what they would do is they would get in front of people and they would announce new projects at these, or they would show new trailers and unveil new casts and unveil new characters. It was just a basically a place where you can come and make major announcements. We were all looking forward to Marvel's Comic Con this year because we had I believe I talked about this in episode 1, where they had allegedly, well, it was rumored that they had the rest of phase 6 slated out. Well, seems like that wasn't the case, that they wasn't ready to announce it. And I think it's just very disappointing for Marvel fans all over the world today. Um, Skipping Comic-Con is one of those things. Is you already delayed the Avengers for us. You know, we all thought Doomsday was coming and in May of next year, and you delayed it to December. So I understand, you know, possibly wanting to wait until next Comic Con and next July to do this, but it would have been nice for all that for that such huge bad news that you give us something at Comic Con, whether that was just telling us what movies were coming out. That had got us excited, that it had us talking. We would have discussed it on this channel, just letting us know what was coming in the future, at least to get us excited about this. You're already lacking story. You're already lacking content. The content that you're putting out is underperforming at the box office. We're going to talk about that. I do have an article pulled up. We're going to read this article from Variety talking about Marvel Studios skipping, and then we're going to come back together and talk about it. Here we go, right here. Marvel Studios skipping Comic Con Hall H panel for 2025. The Avengers will have to wait to assemble in San Diego for another year. Marvel Studios will have a smaller presence at Comic Con this year, skipping its annual blockbuster presentation in Hall H on Saturday. Variety has confirmed. With Avengers Doomsday moving its release date from May 2026 to December 2026, the studio is holding its powder for Comic Con 2026 rather than suspend production in London to fly its cast for more than 24 stars to appear on stage in San Diego this year. The company is still planning panels and events focused on its comics and games, as well as a booth that will play off the release of Fantastic Four: The Four Steps, which opens in theater on the Friday of the annual fan convention. The stars of the film will appear at the fan convention CCXP Mexico this weekend. Since the preview of Iron Man electrified Hall H at the 2007 San Diego Comic Con, Marvel Studio has utilized the stage to showcase its upcoming features and make news with surprise appearances and the announcements of new titles. In 2024, the studio even tacked on a special Thursday 8 Hall H panel for Deadpool and Wolverine that became a surprise premiere screening, capped off with a 10-minute drone and fireworks show over Petco Park. So as you can see, Marvel goes all out for this event. They making sure that this is what people look forward to. We want to see when they're going to make their new announcements, and we want to know what's going to happen in this saga. Right now, we're like, okay, we're trying to get this character that you want us to be afraid of. You want us to fear. You want us to be terrified of as we go into the next. We go into this next Avengers movie, but we have nothing else going off of other than Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and then Avengers Doomsday. They're not giving us anything. Oh, and then Secret Wars, of course, but we're not getting any information. They're not telling us much of anything. And I think they're going to try to do a lot of information dumping on us at one time. And I don't think it's going to go well over with fans. You can already tell that people are really getting tired of Marvel. I was reading that the Thunderbolts had a box office flop. Now, the movie I think was very good, but what does box office flop mean? That people are not going to go see the movie. And yes, I understand Thunderbolts is a little different because you don't really care about those characters in a sense with Black Widow, Yelena Belova, the Red Guardian, and Sentry, and Taskmaster and Ghost. You don't really care about those characters, so I can understand why that movie particularly. I'm really waiting to see what Fantastic Four does at the box office because they'll tell me which direction we're going to go because they have not only you have goals to meet as far as it being good, but you have to meet financial goals as well. And I also saw that Avengers will need $2 billion at the box office to break even. $2 billion. There's only five or six, maybe I think it was seven. I can't. I just looked at the list the other. I think there's only six movies. I think the seventh one is 1.9. So we'll just count that one. There's only seven movies that have even made $2 billion in the history of film. The history of film, and that's what Marvel's Doomsday needs to break even. And the way that they're going with people not caring about the characters now that they moved the date out of May and into December, which is not a big box office month, which is also a month where you have a lot of blockbuster films coming out at around Christmas time. That's one thing. I don't see Marvel hitting that 2 billion mark. I can see it happening maybe a little ways down the line. But I don't see the excitement behind it that we used to. I just would never remember. I would never forget just when Avengers Infinity War or Endgame came out and the theatrical experience. We're gonna have a similar experience to this because of the amount of characters we're gonna have on screen and some characters we haven't seen in a while. It's gonna be awesome, but it just won't have that same feeling. We won't care. We cared about Iron Man and Captain America and Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk and Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier and Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther and Lupita Nyong'o as what I forgot whatever character she played, but we cared about these. The Dora Milaje, I can't think of her name. I went brain had a brain fart right there. But we cared about these characters. We cared about Vision. We cared about the Scarlet Witch. So seeing our characters disappear before our eyes, it meant something to us because we had been watching these characters all throughout the 20 movies that came before, whatever it was, the 20 movies that came before then. So I don't see us having that same emotional attachment to Avengers Doomsday unless they just go in there and start killing some folks off. And we just like, whoa, even if they was to go through and kill our old X-Men characters, it still won't be the same as watching Tony Stark say, I am Iron Man, snap his finger, because that was a the perfect storybook ending to his character. That's how his character came out in the first movie, I am Iron Man. So it's just a lot of emotional attachments, and I don't think that this movie is going to hit the mark. We don't even know Doom. We haven't even seen Doom. Nobody has even said Doom's name. And so I thought that the Comic-Con panel and seeing which movies will be coming out, I thought that would at least give people some excitement, to give people something to hold on to until we get the next Avengers movie, because we have Fantastic Four in July, and then we won't have another movie until next July where Spider-Man comes out. So we'll be exactly a year before we get our next movie, and then we'll have 6 months after that we will have Avengers Doomsday. So I think Marvel's making big mistakes. I do hope that they can bounce back. You know, I don't, I hope what I'm thinking could happen is that we will probably see a decline in Marvel as we see an increase in DC with the new Superman movies. I think James Gunn's going to do a great job, and I think it's going to get a lot of people excited. And so maybe some people might get comic book fatigue on this side, but then we may be able to get some excitement over here, which is fine. Maybe both of them cannot exist at the same time. That's all right. Marvel's dominated for so long. Maybe it's time for them to step aside. If they can't get it right, then step aside. Let's see what James Gunn can do with Superman, Batman, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, The Flash. Let's see what he can do with these characters, because those characters are just as awesome. They just haven't had the right guidance yet. So I think James Gunn is going to give them that guidance that they need to grow into where they want to grow. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is it a mistake for Marvel to skip Comic-Con? They're saying that they didn't have enough content. Do you think that is true? Do you think people are getting tired of superhero movies and they're suffering from superhero fatigue? Please let me know in the comments what you think. I want to know what you're thinking to yourselves. This has been another amazing episode. I appreciate everybody coming out and listening to this video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts. I want to continue this conversation in the chat. I make these videos because it's fun, but I want to also make these videos as a port of communication, so that way we can talk about this stuff. I know people have different opinions, different views, and I want to know what you all think. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Until next time, this is your boy Petry Perfect, and this is the Don't Cancel Me channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.